Hello everyone and welcome to this my video on midpoint and length of a line segment. My name is Darren from Maths Guru. Yes, I know some of you have stuck with me through thick and thin, and thank you very much. But there are new people who may be watching, that one extra person who found this video. And I thank you, that one extra person. Do me a favour, can you subscribe to my YouTube channel? Sounds a bit needy, really, and I am sounding a bit needy, but very few people watch maths videos, and quite often I just give up. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I'm sitting in here talking to myself, and no one ever watches my videos. And then I get, I don't know, 10 or 15 people and they go, no, we watch it, and they subscribe. So if you can subscribe, that would be great. That little click means very little to you, but it means the world to me, and I'd be deeply, deeply grateful. Right, what are we dealing with? We're going to be able to find midpoints of line segments, be able to use the length of a line segment, and understand how to use Pythagoras' theorem. Now, if you haven't done Pythagoras before, don't worry so much. There is a video on mathsguru.com, which you can sign up to for free. And you can actually download videos and all the lesson notes. Everything I'm writing on behind me, you can download. You can write all over, put in your summary book, etc., etc., etc. Now, in previous videos, we've been looking at all the important stuff about straight lines. We've come up with the equation y equals mx plus c. That describes a whole line. That describes the line that goes to infinity and beyond. We know about gradient and we know about intercept. And obviously, the most important part here is the y-axis intercept. That's my value of c, and the one that trips people up all the time. But what if we don't want the whole line? Can you notice here that this line seems to be cut? I only got that little bit here. Well, in mathematical language, that's called a line segment, right? So we're going to deal with line segments at the moment. We're going to be able to work out the length of that line segment and also the midpoint. Again, don't get tricked on language. Put it in your summary book. The more you put it in there, the more you're going to know for your exams. So if you ever want to, I use a pretty awesome program called Desmos.com. It's free online. And as I say here, it's Desmos, put .com on the end, and you can pretty much put calculator. You can draw graphs and all sorts of stuff. And as this course goes on, it's probably going to be important that you use it more and more and more. But if you wanted to do this little line segment here, you can actually type in that equation there. Those are curly braces. Less than or equal to signs, you actually just do a less than and then an equal sign, and it turns it automatically into less than and equals. But why not have a play, right, at the end of this video? Not now, not now, stop, no, don't go, come back. Yeah, have a play with that and see what you can come up with. You can draw some really funky graphs in that. Right, finding the midpoint of a line. Doing this from a sketch is pretty easy. So imagine I've got this straight line. I know that it starts here, and let's put the coordinate there down as, what is that, 0, minus 1, and that one there is 2, 0. If I wanted to find out where the middle of that line is, well, I can actually do it by inspection, can't I? Because it's here. The middle of that line is absolutely there. And so what coordinate would that be? Well, it would be 1, minus a half. Yeah, and doing it by inspection is really, really cool. But there's an actually better way of doing it. I'm going to write the coordinates down as 0, what did I say? Minus 1 and 2, 0. Now, the point about finding the midpoint, if you ever want the middle of two numbers, all you have to do is add them together and divide by 2. And you're going to say, hold on, that's an average. Yes, I know. That's what an average is. It's the middle of two numbers. But if I want the middle of two numbers, add them together and divide by 2. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look at the two x values. Let's look at those two x values together. I've got 0 and 2. So 0 plus 2 is 2. Divide them by 2 gives me 1. All right, so I'm just going to write that down there. Let's now look at my next two values. I bet you can see where I'm going, can't you? There is minus 1 and there is 0. So minus 1 plus 0 is minus 1. Divided by 2 is minus a half. So I'm going to write minus, hold on a moment, that's my midpoint. Oh my goodness gracious me, they're the same. So what I've actually worked out is a pretty funky way of doing it without even having to draw a graph, because I'm not going to always be able to draw a graph, and some of the graphs might be complicated and some of the questions they might turn on their head. But to find the midpoint of 2 points, you literally take the x values, add them together and divide by 2. You take the y values, you add them together and divide by 2, and lo and behold, that there is your midpoint. Now, because the textbook and exams try and confuse you and Barry, there's a formula, and some people love formulas. I know lucky formulas. I know lucky formulas.